Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the movie Memento. Two things. You might hear drumming in the background. If you don't, cool. If you do hear it, I apologize. We're going to get through this as smoothly as possible, I promise you. The second thing I want to say is I want to thank my buddy Matt for showing me this while I was on vacation last week when I went to go visit him. I really appreciate you showing me this movie. It is such a treat, and I thank you very, very much for that. Memento stars Guy Pearce, Carrie Anne Moss, and Joe Pantoliano, and is directed by the wonderful Christopher Nolan. So if you've seen the Dark Knight trilogy, Interstellar, or Inception, or any of those kinds of movies, you kind of know what's up with this movie already. What I loved about this movie is that it was told in a non-conventional way. The movie is told backwards. It has a non-linear timeline, which means that there's going to be one timeline that is going to be the main focus, and then there's going to be another timeline which is still part of the main focus, but it's not as in the forefront as the other timeline we are watching. One of the timelines is in reverse, and one of them goes forward. And the reason why it goes in reverse is because Guy Pearce's character named Leonard Shelby suffers from this short-term memory loss, kind of like Dory from Finding Nemo, but like way worse. I think he suffers at least a 24-hour short-term memory loss. He basically can't make any new memories past a certain point in the movie. And what happens is he is trying to solve the murder and rape of his wife. He's trying to find the guy who did it. And the way that he does it is by leaving mementos, little clues for himself. Every day that he wakes up, he sees all these tattoos all over his body that have clues saying this guy killed my wife, a bunch of other information tattooed all over him. There's like fact number 1 here on his arm, fact number 6 on his leg, like just a bunch of random clues that so he remembers what he's doing every day when he wakes up. It's kind of fucking crazy. And he takes pictures of certain people and he writes little notes on the back of it saying, don't trust this guy, he's full of shit. This girl's really cool, she'll take pity on you, blah, 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 blah. It's wonderful. This movie is a fucking mind trip. It's so fucking crazy. And I'm going to say this, and this is my personal opinion, this is probably one of the best movies I have ever seen in my entire life. It might not be top 5, but it for sure is at least top 10, top 20. It is so fucking good. I'm not even kidding. I'm really not. I love everybody in this movie. Guy Pearce, his performance is marvelous. What he goes through and the emotions he goes through and just the sheer thought of what this guy has to go through. It's just imagine having a short-term memory loss trying to solve the murder of your wife. I literally cannot imagine that, and I don't want to imagine that, but my God, the things that this man goes through in this movie is unbelievable, but he pulls it off. He is stellar in this movie. He's probably one of the best actors I've ever seen in a movie. I've only seen him in one other movie, and he was an asshole and a prick in that movie. He was in that movie Lawless. He was the bad guy. So rightfully so, he did a great job doing that. His character was an asshole, but Guy Pearce did a wonderful job. And Guy Pearce does a wonderful job in Memento. He does a fucking great job portraying this character. He is wonderful. I love everybody in this movie. Carrie Anne Moss did a great job. Joe Pantoliano did a good job. Mark Boone Jr. did a good job. Every little side character, even in this movie, was wonderful. This movie is so fucking good. If you have not seen this movie, I highly urge you to. It is going to be something that you are going to remember probably for the rest of your life, honestly. And like most Christopher Nolan movies, this movie has one of the most coolest, freshest, most original endings in a movie. Now, I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to spoil this movie at all. I just have to at least say these things just because I want to tell you guys just how good this movie is. Judging by for the words that I'm saying and how I'm saying them, I think you guys already kind of get the general picture. But like when you watch this movie, you will see what I'm saying. This is one of those movies though where don't be on your phone. Don't look at Instagram. Don't look at anything. Don't take your eyes off the screen for 1 second, because if you do, if you miss one thing, you will be so lost. Because the way that this movie is edited, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, this movie must have been the biggest pain in the ass to edit. The way that the non-linear timeline is, the timeline that we see that is going in reverse, you see about 5 to 10 minutes of a scene, and then it ends, and then it cuts to a black and white scene, which is the chronologically going forward. And then it cuts back to another scene, And then that scene ends at the scene that you saw before. So again, it's just, you have to pay attention very hard to this movie. Because if you miss one thing, you're going to be like, the fuck is happening? Where am I? I don't know what's going on. Who's that fucking guy? Who's that fucking chick? What's going on here? You really do have to pay attention. It is one of those movies where you do have to pay attention. I'm telling you. I turned my phone off and I put it in the other room just to not be tempted. It's one of those fucking movies, dude. I'm telling you. This is one of Christopher Nolan's best movies. This was his first full-length feature film to be released in theaters. It was only a $3 million budget, but for what he had to work with that budget, the actors, the sets, everything else, holy shit. I give this movie fucking so much props for that. It came out in the year 2000 as well, and I think that this movie still holds up. 20 fucking years later, my friend Lana was like, "You're really gonna review a 20-year-old movie?" Fuck yeah, I am, dude. It's one of those times where I really think that people who don't know this movie do. Sometimes people listen to my opinions on what's good on movies, and I'm telling you, this is one of those movies where I'm recommending it to you, and if you don't watch it, you fucked up. I'm telling you, you fucked up. There were so many times in this, well, no, not so many times, but there were a lot of times in this movie where literally I leaned forward and was grabbing my brain like this because it was about to explode all over the place. I'm telling you, this is one of those movies. It really makes you think about life. It's pretty fucking cool. It's a fun ride. That's all I'm going to say to that. It's really fun. Obviously, I cannot praise this movie enough. I'm going to give this movie a hard, solid 10 out of 10. You guys might notice that I have a little bit of an upgrade here. I got a new microphone. I got a light ring. You know, I'm going to be probably doing my podcast from home from now on. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and tell all your friends. I would really, really appreciate it. Sometime soon, I will be launching a Patreon, which will include some cool content, at least personalized movie reviews, or if you want to talk about music or, you know, something else, a television show that you've seen, it will be personalized just for you, and I will make it for you in a timely manner. I haven't really set up how much it's going to be for the donations, but I'll keep everybody updated with that as much as possible. I feel like I like to contribute to the entertainment world, and this would be my contribution to it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time with another fantastic review.